Initiation, hey, that's some good angle right there. Filling that outer zone really well. Wow. And Mayer is right there. Look at that angle from Tyler Mayer right there on his door. Possibly a little bit of contact right there. So when we have a huge car entry field like we did this past, like for the Big Bounty tournament, you're going to sometimes go up with someone you might not have ever drifted against before or really spent a ton of time on track with. That's not the case with these next two drivers. We got Tyler Mayer and Patrick Heald, who are some of the more experienced drivers you could say in the field of the entire tournament.
Absolutely. Both these guys are Formula Drift license holders. Patrick Heald, I think, earned his in like 2018. So he's a little more veteran of the sport and of that level of driving. And then Tyler Mayer actually earned his last year where he came runner-up in our Pro-Am competition for the season. So, yeah, both these guys, I mean, they're both S13 hatches. Patrick Heald has a KA turbo, so four-cylinder turbo. Tyler Mayer has a JZ turbo, so straight six under the hood. And Tyler Mayer, he went through some trials and tribulations earlier in the day that we didn't see. His first battle, he was very lucky to get through it because as he was crossing the finish line on the second run, he broke his diff.
Oof.
So completely broke his differential, but he has a great team behind him. Juan Martin helped him out. I know he was probably getting his hands dirty, but they got that diff swapped out. They got him back into competition and able to put on runs like you see before you here.
So for some non-car people that are tuning in here to CW11, what exactly is all going to go into that kind of garage style or that quick pit style to get that car fixed, to fix something like that?
Lots of determination.
Lots of determination.
Blood, sweat, and determination. Yeah, so these cars, like one of the reasons that the 240SX, the S chassis, is so popular is because of how modular it is and how easy it is to work on. So now these have independent rear suspension. It's not like changing out a whole straight axle. So his differential, just the pumpkin broke. So they were able to drop that. I think it's 4 bolts to drop the diff. There's 6 bolts in each axle. So you drop that all out, just throw another one back in, get them back on track. So I've seen it done in as quick as 5 minutes. I've done it in as quick as 10 minutes. And, you know, that it sounds like a significant break. It's not super significant, but it is still like a testament to how hard these guys work to stay out on track and the perseverance to keep Tyler on track so he can do battle and take it to guys like Patrick Heald right here.
Yeah, so we're going to go right here in the second half of their battle. Now Mayer up front leading is a little bit not as close in proximity as Patrick through the first portion right here. We'll see if he's able to close that in the second half, and he does right there on the inner clip. Is like you said, these cars pretty equal in power as they're going through this out of the course. So really it's just going to come down to just driver versus driver through the rest of the course.
Yeah, and Tyler Mayer out front, he spends a lot of time on his simulator, so he gets that free drive time, and it absolutely translates on track. And, I mean, I've harped on it a whole lot with him, but he is one of those perfect examples. You almost see contact right there on initiation as Tyler tries to wag the tail as he goes to initiate, but Patrick Heald just keeps right close to him and tries to apply the pressure throughout the track and does a good job. You see a bunch of left foot brake trying to slow the car down while keeping them tires spinning. As it goes through the more technical parts on the North Pole here, both these guys, man, so close on those nose clips. Getting deep into those outer zones, both those guys. That's nuts. In the follow position, Patrick Heald filling those outer zones like that is a great job and shows you why he's gotten to the level that he has in drifting.
Yeah, we'll jump on board with him right here as they kind of go in. Yeah, you see him get almost was looking to the right and then almost ran right into Tyler as Tyler came down on track. But I think right here, just not really filling these two outer zones is what's really going to come down to possibly hurting Patrick. But the rest of the run from right here on, he kicked it up to 110, was right at his door. And like you said, just put on a killer show for all the fans that are right here and just pretty much just glued to Tyler's door the rest of the run. And we'll see what the judges decide. I think that just that little part is the only thing I saw that might possibly hurt Patrick, but we'll see what the judges think. We'll throw it down to Derek Hobbs with the interviews. As possibly some deliberation between the judges. And they're going to go one more time. So
it was too close to call.
Exactly.
No interviews yet, man. No winner yet. No one gets that chip. We're holding on to it. And I guess we're going to have to wait to find out who the winner of this battle is through one more time right after these messages. Welcome back to Home Track Heroes at Evergreen Speedway, featuring our Big Bounty tournament at our Driftcon season opener. So we left a commercial break on a cliffhanger. We have a one more time battle. Yeah, that's right. So it was too close to call between Tyler Mayer and Patrick Heald. So going to etch-a-sketch that thing, get a brand new battle, and see if we can find out a winner.
Yeah, well, we talked about it. I mean, these are two Formula Drift license holders, and they are some of the, bigger names that we've seen at Evergreen Drift for a while now. So it's really no surprise that these two are that close in competition to where they have to go one more time here. And this is still the round of 16. So this is still just trying to get into the top 8. So it's really a lot on the line right here for these two drivers.
That's right. So like we said, one more time, brand new battle. So we're going to see if we can get a definitive winner here. Patrick Heald back out in front. He's the higher seated driver, so he gets to lead the way first. Wow. Tyler Mayer tucking in. Now right here, Tyler Mayer, that's the one I was waiting for. He had been bumper sweeping there all day, and that's the one that took his car, made it look a little back in blue. You can see his headlights doing the I didn't hear no bell kind of look.
Yeah, so that's, there's nothing wrong with what he did there. A little bit of contact there, didn't upset either of the runs, both stayed in drift, adds a little bit of extra excitement, extra style for the fans. That was about as close as you can get without having some significant contact.
Absolutely, yeah. Like you said, it didn't upset either driver's vehicles, so it's okay. It's good, man. A little rubbin's racing, right? That's what the circle track guys say?
Exactly, yep.
That's what Tom Cruise says, at least.
So, right, right there, that's about you said, like we've been saying all day, a good follow run. You have to have a good follow run or a good lead run for a good follow run, and that was a great follow run by Tyler Mayer. He hit all the boxes, and that proximity was, about as close as you can get for the entire run as well. As we're going to hop on board with Patrick Heald once again.
Yeah, Patrick Heald was all over it when we put out the call to action for people to give us GoPro footage, and I'm not mad. This is sick. This is a sick onboard view of what's going on. You see he's got the clean air in front of him, so he's got to concentrate on hitting all the course markers, and so they're all painted on the ground, whereas usually that's the only cone we have. Usually we'll have cones, we'll have barrels set up so they know, they don't have to look at the ground on where they're going. So this adds another dimension of difficulty, of technicality to the track, and it's just, nothing like we've ever had before.
Well, we've also seen them when we were on the 5.8s. They have that big wall that they lean up against the entire time. So that's really a good visual for them to follow when they're dragging their bumper across the 5.8s with all those banners along the 5.8s track. So it is a lot of different aspects for these drivers, especially when we talk about it's a new course. They've never seen this course before. They don't have the barrels, so it's just a lot of different X factors for them. As we see that front bumper hanging off a little, barely. There's probably a couple bolts on there hanging it on now. Maybe a few zip ties. A few zip ties.
Drifters ain't use no bolts. No, zip ties will break loose and keep that bumper intact. So that's what he's going after. Just zip ties holding that thing on right now. But Tyler laying it down out front. Both these guys, man, just tit for tat. Both of them punch for punch out here. I am so glad I'm not Chris, Aaron, or Lucas at this point. All I got to do is kind of commentate, and at that, I'm just talking out of my butt half the time.
So we're gonna go on to the drone right here. Is like you said, you don't want to be the judges because this is a really, really difficult decision right here between these two drivers. Once again, a lot more angle from Tyler, I think, in his run right here.
Wow! Style game.
Throwing it down all over. So I think that'd be the only point I'd lean more towards Tyler's lead run versus Patrick is just the amount of angle that we saw Tyler throw down right here.
Yeah, and you can see that is one of the criteria that the judges want is to see how sideways you get through the course, right? Angle. Fill those angle criterias. And, when you do it that much and you throw that much angle, it's so dramatic and it makes such an impact on the judges' minds and how they want to, lead as far as if they want Patrick to win or Tyler to win here. Now, one of the difficulties, we talked about the drivers' difficulties, but we had 64 drivers here, okay? And so we end up running against a curfew if we don't get all these battles done. So one of the things the judges had to compete with is they didn't actually have replay for these battles. So they had to remember what happened. They had to go live in their brain and remember everything that went down. So they're writing down notes the whole time, doing their due diligence, and I agree 100% with every single decision they made.
All right, so I know it didn't end the way you wanted it to, but you guys put down four great runs. You want to thank anybody for getting you here?
Yeah, I'd like to thank my team, my dad, my family, everybody that came out here, Driftcon, for putting the event on, and I had a great time. Better luck next time for me, I guess.
All right, sounds good. All right. So you're going against. I would say you guys are two more well-known drivers here in the Evergreen scene. How was it going? Going one more time, and just your overall thoughts on those.
Me and Patrick always drive together. We always drive during comps, and it was just great. On one of those transitions, I exploded his fiberglass rear bumper. I kind of feel bad. Haven't seen my car yet, but I just blew a diff in my last battle, and we got it replaced. I shouldn't be here right now. I'm just very grateful for everyone that helped.
So who do you want to thank to get the car back on the track?
Oh boy, Drive Autosports, all my crew members that just got under the car. Everybody had a wrench in their hand. Everybody was loosening a bolt. Just all the stickers. It's really hard to think right now, but yeah.
All right, well, you're moving on. I'll give you that.
Awesome, thank you.
And we'll see you in the next round.
So I alluded to it during the run. I couldn't remember if that was the exact one, but that's what happened. So Doug English was cutting the line a little bit, and the judges felt like he was just trying to run away from Frank, which is not what we want to see. We want to see good head-to-head battles and fill in those criteria. And unfortunately for Doug implemented a strategy that just didn't work out.
Yeah, and I think once he comes back and sees the footage, he'll kind of see the few zones that he missed and where the judges would have thought that and came to that conclusion. But overall, it's going to be Frank Mirabelli moving on to the top four. So we got Brendan Wallstrom and Frank Mirabelli making up the left half of the top four in the bracket. And now we got the right half to decide. We got Junior Chun versus Tyler Mayer now.
Ooh, Junior Chun with a big initiation out in the lead position. Tyler Mayer, he's just going, shoot, man, I'm going to have to stick right next to this guy and is absolutely going to try and do it through the track. Junior throwing down a hell of a lead run, putting that car everywhere where it needs to be. And Tyler Mayer matching his angle, matching his line, and doing it right next door.
Yeah, right on his door is Tyler Mayer. And that's a great run from both drivers. And, crowd's loving it. You can hear him cheering. That was phenomenal to watch. This is going to be so exciting to watch from the drone. Moonman FPV, Micros FPV. Check them out on Instagram. But this is going to be killer footage right here because these drivers put on one great show. And like you said, that killer angle coming off the bank from Junior. That's about as great as you can get. Goes way out, fills outer zone, gets right in on that inner clip, back to the next outer zone. Just checking off all the boxes, Junior.
Yeah, and you could see as Junior came past that first inner clip, you could see he actually tried to make the turn around the North Pole like more of a turn, whereas some people were trying to straight shot it. He made more of a radius to it. So you could see that he knows what his car wants and how to do the best out there. Doing a great job, fun to watch. And Tyler Mayer, he's like, dude, I'll just stick next to you all day, but we're going to reverse the order now, and let's see what Junior does in the chase position.
Yeah, we'll see what Junior can do up against the very experienced Tyler Mayer right here. Going in off the 3/8 into the infield, filling both zones is Tyler Mayer right there. And Junior, he's showing a lot of speed right there, not quite as close in proximity, but still, he's still there. He's still a factor for sure.
Oh, yeah, right there, putting the pressure on Tyler. He's definitely in the peripherals, definitely making his presence known. But Tyler Mayer, you see now Tyler's pouring down that smoke line, letting that JZ motor sing under the hood of that S13 as both these guys cross the finish line. Wow, what a battle. What a fun battle to watch.
Yeah, that was awesome. I can't wait to go back to the drone again right here. And the only spot where I really noticed a little bit of a difference between the two runs was on Junior's lead run. The very last outer zone, he didn't quite get all the way out there, and I think that might be the only thing that might separate these two. Tyler was also maybe a little bit closer in proximity on his chase, but it's so hard to really tell. These guys put on a great show. I would not want to be in the judge's shoes right now.
Yeah, and Tyler was a little more consistent with his distance in the chase, right? Whereas Junior kind of surged a little bit, got closer, further away. So maybe the averages were the same, but let's see what the judges feel about those runs.
All right, Tyler, that was a good battle. What do you think kind of got you out on top there?
I'm just grateful to be here. That was really fun. Just to practice in the off season, but I'm just grateful to be here. That was an awesome battle. Shout out to Junior. That was awesome.
All right. Well, we'll still see you here. Got one more chip for you, and we will see you in the next round.
All right, moving on, figure out who's going to be facing Brendan Wallstrom in the championship battle and who's going to end up going into the third place battle against Frank Mirabelli. As, it's hard to go against Tyler Mayer right here with just his car setup and how much more power he has over Jarrett Robertson. But, with drifting, you never know who can quite make the mistake or where it can fluctuate,
But one of those things is you cannot expect Tyler Mayer to make a mistake. He is so good. He's so well-versed in, everything drifting. I mean, I'm going to hammer it home. He spends so much time on the sim. He's probably got as much seat time as anybody, you know, and it translates perfectly out here on track. I mean, the guy does the same thing every time. And the weird thing is, his car, like, you'd expect it to be like this monster, this menacing beast on track, but it's so smooth, it's subtle. But, I mean, I guess, what was the Batman quote? It's the slow knife that cuts the deepest. Man, he's cutting deep out here on track.
Yeah, and he's doing a great job. And Jarrett did a really good job for, I mean, how much at a disadvantage he is to stay fairly close proximity, stay in drift. We saw him cut the course a few times right here, especially on the first initiation. On initiation, trying just to stay with that proximity. So, I mean, with the car that he has, he's doing a good job, but it's just so hard when a guy like Tyler Mayer has the car set up and is hitting on all cylinders and is filling all these outer zones so perfectly.
Yeah, and that's, you know, it's more impactful for the chase car to be close than for it to fill all the zones. So, you know, it's a strategic maneuver for them to be cutting all those zones out just to stay close. It's going to weigh heavier in the judges' eyes. It's what they'd prefer to see. And now roles reversed. I mean, Jarrett Robertson, he's going to have to hit all those zones perfectly and hope that Tyler makes a mistake, which I don't think is likely.
Yeah, so we'll find out what Jarrett's able to do right here. Green light goes on, and good initiation. Hey, that's some good angle right there. Filling that outer zone really well. Wow. And Mayer is right there. Look at that angle from Tyler Mayer right there on his door. Possibly a little bit of contact right there. Wow. This is a great run from Tyler Mayer chasing down Jarrett Robertson. And, I mean, like we mentioned before, I mean, hey, you got to have a good lead run for a good follow run, and Jarrett's doing everything right here. But Tyler Mayer is just glued to him all over that door panel right there.
Are you kidding me? You see the left foot brake going on, so we keep those rear tires wicked up while the front's slowing down. Man, Tyler Mayer putting on an absolute master class in the chase position.
Yeah, so let's just watch this first few zones right here. I mean, really sets the tempo, because we've seen it where the chase driver maybe doesn't get the best initiation on the start, and that throws off their entire chase run. Not the case for Tyler Mayer. He was glued to his door from the beginning.
And one of the most impactful, most beautiful things you can see on course is when Jarrett transitions, you'll see Tyler transition. They call it mimicking, and he does it every transition. They just mimic each other, and it's just beautiful. Unbelievable job by Tyler Mayer. I mean, I think I know which way I'd vote.
Yeah, exactly. Let's head it down to Derek Hobbs for the interviews.
All right, Tyler. So you're going against Wallstrom in the finals.
Oh boy.
How do you feel about that?
That guy holds. He's a professional stunt driver. He's got an FD license. He's a badass from Canada. It's gonna be a great battle.
So he's raced every single level of the competition to get to it. He started from the very back. So do you think he says he's getting tired?
That's good.
Do you think that gives you the edge?
He's got more seat time, but his car's tired. He could be out of tires because we only got 6 tires. Who knows? It's anybody's battle.
All right, we're all looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a great battle.
Yeah.
All right.
Liz, we're going to bring everyone up on stage and decide it up there. So we're actually going to move on to the championship battle right here. Tyler Mayer versus Brennan Wallstrom. Brennan Wallstrom, like we mentioned all show long, he came from the very back of the bracket, battled his way all the way up forward, took out the #1 qualifier, Zach Farrar, and took the #1 spot in the top 16 bracket. And here he is going up against Tyler Mayer.
Yeah, Brennan walked home with some big money just from the battles in general. But right now we got battles. This battle right here is for $3,000. Winner takes home $3K. Big check. They got to go to the big check bank to cash that big check.
The big check bang, and let's see who's going to walk away with it. Huge initiation and a ton of speed. These two cars, some contact, and they both keep it together, and they're still going. I mean, that's not the first time we've seen Tyler Mayer use that front bumper, and he's still right there on his door.
He still hasn't heard no bell.
Wow, awesome chase run, and not Mirabelli, Brennan Wallstrom not shaking. I mean, he's a stunt driver. He's used to getting thrown around, and wow, what an awesome battle right there from both drivers doing everything right. Tyler Mayer making his presence felt. That's a championship battle run right there.
Yeah, let's get a close-up of that contact. That was amazing. And like we said earlier, as long as it doesn't really disrupt the cars, you can't really fault him for it. Hardly disrupted the cars, just sent a bunch of shrapnel on track.
Yeah, that was awesome shot as we ride along with Micros FPV and Moonman FPV. Right there, Tyler Mary straightened out a little bit. Not sure it's going to come back to hurt him or not. It didn't like he completely fouled a drift or not, but definitely scrubbed some angle, trying to catch back up to the door of Wallstrom. But overall, killer run from both drivers. And let's hop on board with Tyler Mary and get the full perspective from that chase run. Like we mentioned before, the lights go green. The chase driver can kind of creep forward. You know, they don't need to wait. It's the lead driver has to wait for the lights to go out just to stop that drag race effect. As we see Tyler Mayer really working that e-brake, and right here is where he slides across the bumper. You see the paint go flying, and I mean, from then on, I mean, your adrenaline's just got to be pumping as a driver as he's all over the door of Wallstrom.
Wow, you see him, and the perspective as a driver. Like, I mean, you just got to have blatant disregard for your own safety to be that close to another car, and by God, Tyler does it so good.
Incredible view right there from the onboard as we get ready for the second half of this run. And, I mean, if you're in Wallstrom's shoes and you know, I mean, he had to have felt Tyler's presence right there. You know that that was a killer run from the chase. He has to be aggressive, and he's got to know that going into this run.
Dude, it was one of the hardest lessons that I had to learn is as a lead driver is just worry about your own stuff. Don't worry about what the other guy's doing, because if they're doing their job, they're making you look good. But you got to be able to put your car in all the right places for that to happen. Brennan Wallstrom absolutely doing that. Not worried about what people behind him are doing, but now he's worried about what's going on in front of him.
Yeah, and he's not quite the angle that Tyler's showing from Wallstrom right there, but he's still great proximity from Brenham as he's right on that rear tire right there of Tyler Mayer as they go around the South Pole one more time. Beautiful night sunset as they come around the North Pole once again, and Tyler Mayer laying down that thick smoke line. Brennan Wallstrom all over him. Not quite the excitement factor from Wallstrom, but he still checked off all those boxes in the chase position.
Yeah, Brennan's game is consistency and attrition, right? So he's going to make it to the end of the day, and he's going to put down the same runs all the time. Tyler knows that. So Tyler is going to have to throw more angle than him. He's going to have to throw snappier transitions than him. And he's checking those boxes, man. He's doing a great job out there. That Pulse for Health, Drive Auto Sports S13, I mean, amazing job from him out front. You see a bunch of left foot brake. That's so he could keep that rear wheel speed just wicked up, getting that smoke line out there. That's for the fans. That's for all the people who paid for their seats but only needed the edge.
Exactly, yeah. And Wallstrom, other than I think it's about the second outside zone that he lost a lot of angle on, other than that, he was right there with Tyler Mayer the entire time. We're going to ride on board once again with Tyler Mayer before we head on down to the podium interview to find out who your winner is, if the judges are able to come to a decision yet, as the lights go out. And here goes Tyler Mayer. And walk me through this run right here from a driver's perspective.
So quick little e-brake pull, get himself to angle, fill in that outer zone. Nice snappy transition, using the e-brake to set himself up. So once he gets to the angle that he likes, throws a little bit of e-brake there, get the car settled. And now look at him, he's making that radius around that light pole. Coming in, he's going to nose in on that front clip. Big angle. Are you freaking kidding me right now? That's where I'd be in full panic mode. But Tyler, calm, cool as a cucumber. And now it's interview time, baby.
I don't know. What side do you want, big guy? All right. Well, we'll go to the left first. We'll save Brendan for last. So, Tyler Mayer, man. So we talk about consistency out there, and we like to harp on the fact that you're on that sim all the time. But I mean, this is the first big event of the year. Is it the first event in the S13 this year?
Yeah, I haven't driven it since last year.
All right, so we can just continue to attribute your greatness out there to the sim driving, right?
100%.
Awesome. Well, it was fun to watch. You had some great battles out there. Let us know who's keeping you on track, who's keeping you motivated, who's supporting you out here.
Everyone. Drive Auto Sports, Pulse for Health, Tire Streets. There's all the stickers on the car, just everybody. I blew a diff. I thought I lost. We replaced the diff, and we're on the podium, so I'm just so grateful. That was amazing.
Well, I think you blew the diff after the finish line, right? So we got real lucky, and then you brought it right to the finals podium. So awesome driving today. Give a round of applause for Tyler Mayer, throwing it down. So over here, we got one of our friends from the Great White North, and it's been 2 years?
2.5, yeah.
2.5 years since we've seen you down here. I mean, you had big plans of going to Run FD, correct?
Yeah, I was gonna, but then, COVID shut us down.
Yeah, they got completely hosed. How did you stay busy during that time and stay in cars and stay wheeling around?
I mean, our local track opened up for drifting, so as many seat time days as I could get, I would go to.
You got some of that. You got your stuntman, right?
Correct.
Do you do a lot of like stuntman driving stuff, or is it like jumping through walls and like jumping off building stuff?
I do both, but it's completely different than stunt driving.
Well, it looks like no matter what, you are comfortable with that car sideways. And I just want to know for my own personal benefit, like I was kind of harping on the fact that you didn't have crazy angle throughout the track. And then progressively through the day, it looked like you poured on more angle. Now, was that my fault or was that just a feeling of the track?
It was a feeling of the track because I didn't come to the practice yesterday. I did like the 3 laps today in the beginning, first, for qualifying, and I didn't really know what to do.
He says he didn't know what to do. Well, I mean, I wanted to have something to do with your success today, but I guess it didn't have anything to do with your success today. Let everyone know who's helping you out on track, who's keeping you motivated, and who's supporting you.
Vinyl Labs, they wrapped my pro car, and they're going to wrap this car, and Filmotechnic, Camera Systems, RVRD Cinema.
All right, quick round of applause for Brennan Wallstrom. Now, I can't even read my own handwriting here. It's tough. Just like scribble chicken scratch here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to announce first place, and then you can figure out who second place is. So first place today, going home with a sick Metal Art trophy, going home with $3,000, is the driver of the S13. I think that's the only parallel I can draw. It's Tyler Mayer. Tyler Mayer getting that big win. Brendan Wallstrom in second place. Both these guys killing it all day. Oh, I could have done Hatch. Words are hard. Braining is harder. Yeah. You didn't hear anything I said. You're just buttering me up. I don't have any bearing on this. You don't have to butter me up for trophies, dude. All right, hey, where's Frank? Frank, come up here. You go over here. All right, so this is our full podium. How's it look? How's it look, Driftcon?